A very warm afternoon to you and welcome to TVN Business Time for today, Tuesday, the 1st of May, 2018. It's nice to have you on the program. Well, on this program that comes to you every working day, and also not working days like today, that's public holiday, but we'll always be here to make sure that we bring you all the latest in the world of business. We'll bring you business news from Nigeria, business news from the international community. We will also look at the exchange rate of the Naira as it stands today with some major currencies. We'll take a look at the stock market report as at close of business yesterday. Not also forgetting the American and Asian stock market report. All of that will be put together for your viewing delight this afternoon. My name is Nten Ekbang and I am your regular host. Once again, before I commence, let me say happy Workers' Day to all diligent and hardworking Nigerian workers. And of course, we wish ourselves a very productive day and a better working environment for everyone. Now, for the headlines for today, SEC sets up panel to probe companies delisting. Oil prices rise above $75 per barrel. Panasonic on the foreign scene is hit with 280 million naira corruption fine, and TSB computer fiasco enters second week. These are the headlines we have for you this afternoon, but there will be more stories as we go ahead now. Let's go to the first story on the local business scene today. That story says SEC sets off panel to probe companies delisting. And according to that report, the Securities and Exchange Commission has set up a committee to find out the reasons behind the delisting of some firms listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The mandate of the committee is to find out why some companies have delisted and what can make others to delist. We want to know if there are regulatory issues. Is it that they are having issues with compliance with our regulations? We have given the committee mandate to come up with recommendations so that if we need to amend our rules to attract more listing, we will look to an international best practice and get that done. If we have to talk to other government agencies and stakeholders, we will equally do so. This was said by the Acting Director General of SEC, Mary Uduk, and she said that while commenting on the delisting move. The committee is also to drive advocacy and other activities towards increasing the number of listed companies on the various exchanges in the country. It is to propose strategies to attract listing from other target sectors, undertake relevant advocacy, as well as other activities that may be relevant to the achievement of the mandate. According to the SEC, members of the new management team have worked in the Commission for many years with experience in different departments and aspects of the capital market, and so it is expected that they will be able to meet their terms and references. Now, let's go to the next story on the local scene, and that report has said that oil prices have risen above $75 per barrel. Well, that story says the international oil benchmark Brent crude on Monday, that is yesterday, hit $75 per barrel and rose further amid growing geopolitical tensions in the world. Brent again, which is Nigeria's crude oil, and its price stood at 75.16% per barrel as of 8:15 p.m. Nigerian time, that's yesterday evening, while the United States market West Texas Intermediate traded around $68.36 per barrel. Now, the rise in oil prices means further accretion to the nation's excess crude account, into which the difference between the market price of oil and the budget benchmark is saved in order to provide a cushion when oil prices fall or extra cash is needed for spending on infrastructure. The 2018 budget proposal submitted by President Muhammadu Buhari in November 2017 put the benchmark oil price at $45 per barrel compared to the $44.5 per barrel for the 2017 budget. The oil price rallied after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused Iran of lying big time about a secretive nuclear weapons program and that has caused tensions in a region that controls almost half of the world's oil. Crude has rallied this month amid heightened geopolitical tensions and Trump's indications that he might scrap the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran. At the same time, OPEC-led production cuts have continued to tighten global markets despite record-setting U.S. crude output. And to the next story on the local scene, Zenith Bank begins Verve card issuance to customers. And according to that story, Zenith Bank PLC says it has become a major issuer of VEV cards and has commenced its distribution to customers nationwide. The development is expected to help the bank's customers to gain access to the numerous benefits of being a VEV card holder. According to a statement, VEV International has created myriad of opportunities for card holders from Zenith Bank customers, and they can now benefit. These include discounts across merchant stores nationwide, acceptance in many other African countries, and a two-factor authentication system that guarantees maximum security for cardholders. The card, which has been praised by many cardholders as the most rewarding way to make payments and the key to African exchange, is without doubt living up to its name, according to the bank VEV recently announced. There was also discounts of 500 naira for cardholders of every movie ticket bought with the VEV card at Genesis Film House and Silverbird Cinemas in Lagos. And this is just one of the many benefits that Zenith Bank customers will begin to enjoy as they use their VEV cards. And on the last story on the local scene, shareholders okay change of name for custodian and allied. And according to that story, shareholders have approved the change of name for Custodian and Allied PLC to Custodian Investment PLC or any other name that may be approved by the Corporate Affairs Commission, the CAC. The change of name is to enable the company expand its operations within the financial services industry as it has other subsidiaries. The shareholders at the 23rd Annual General Meeting of the company held in Lagos also endorsed all resolutions at the meeting, including the 42 kobo dividend per share declared by the Board of Directors of the company for the financial year ended December 31st, 2017. Addressing shareholders at the meeting, Chairman of the company, Dr. Mrs. Omobola Johnson, said, following the meltdown of the stock market and the relatively low rate regime of 2016, the environment in 2017 was more favorable to companies with net investable funds such as ours. Our various revenue streams, including premium income, investment income, fees, and commissions, recorded significant growth, while our costs were effectively managed to result in a 37% increase in our profit after tax of 7.3 billion naira from 5.3 billion naira in 2016, and total comprehensive income of 8.02 billion from 5.4 billion naira. And those are the stories on the local business scene for now. We'll take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll bring you international business news. Please stay with TVN Business Time.
Of live television on the go? Think no more. Television Nigerian has got you covered, no matter your age, your education, language, tribe, or religion. Whether it is in your car, your office, or any other place of your choice, you can depend on Television Nigerian anytime, any day, and anywhere. We are online 24/7. You can catch the latest news, politics, sport, and entertainment via your mobile phone, your tablet, or any other device at no extra data charges or costs. Just like our Facebook page, Television Nigerian. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Television Nigerian, and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TV Nigerian to enjoy all that television can offer. Television Nigerian, broadcast beyond boundaries.
Nice to have you to join us on the program TVN Business Time. Now, before that break, we brought you international, local business news. Now, let's take you to the international business scene. And top on the headlines for today, Panasonic hit with $280 million corruption fine. And according to that story, Japanese electronics giant Panasonic has agreed to pay more than $280 million. That's about 203 million pounds to resolve charges brought under U.S. anti-corruption law. The U.S. said the firm's in-flight entertainment division hired consultants for improper purposes and concealed payments to sales agents in China and elsewhere in Asia. The U.S. said the act violated the Foreign Corruption Practices Act. Panasonic did not respond to a request for comment. Payments were made by U.S.-based subsidiary Panasonic Avionics Corporation between 2007 and 2016, the U.S. said. In one case, the firm hired a foreign official as a consultant. At the same time, that official was negotiating a contract between Panasonic and government-owned airline in the Middle East. The official was paid $875,000 over a 6-year period despite doing little work, according to U.S. documents. And moving on now to the next news, TSB computer fiasco enters second week. And that report says that frustrated TSB customers are still locked out of their accounts as the bank's fiasco enters a second week. Some have suggested the system is going from bad to worse as they are denied access to online banking and the bank's mobile app. It has been announced that TSB Chief Executive Paul Pester will face questions from MPs on the influential Treasury Committee on Wednesday. The bank said it was working around the clock to fix the problems. Worries over payments remain as error messages are shown to some customers trying to move money. In a letter to MPs, Mr. Pester also revealed the extent of failures of technology in the branch network and average waits of up to an hour for those calling the bank. Moving on now, Trump delays decision on steel and aluminum tariffs. And according to that report, the Trump administration has extended negotiation on steel and aluminum tariff for 30 days with Canada, the EU, and Mexico. It has also reached an agreement in principle with Argentina, Brazil, and Australia. In March, U.S. President Donald Trump imposed worldwide tariffs of 25 on U.S. imports of steel and 100 on aluminum. Some countries were then exempted temporarily from those tariffs, including Canada, the EU, and Mexico. China was not included in the exemptions, and it later retaliated with its own duties on some U.S. imports. Mr. Trump responded by calling for further U.S. tariffs against China, escalating trade tensions between two giants. South Korea was given an indefinite exemption in return for a 30-unit steel export to the United States. And moving on now to the next story, carpet ride warns of £9 million annual loss. And according to that story, struggling floor covering chain Carpet Rides has warned it expects to make losses this year of between £7 to £9 million compared with a profit of £14.4 million last year. It gave the warning on the day it asked shareholders to back a rescue plan, which includes closing 81 stores. Investors backed the plan, a company voluntarily agreement which was struck with creditors last week. The CVA will allow it to close some stores and lower rents on others. It could also see 300 jobs lost through the chain. Carpet Ride is also asking shareholders to buy 60 million in new shares through a rights issue. The retailer said that there had been, quote, inevitable disruptions to trade, end of quote, because of the publicity around its restructuring activities, and these, along with continued weak consumer confidence, had depressed the issues. Okay, now let's take you to the stock market report. And activities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the NSE, closed for the month of April on Monday, that was yesterday, with a marginal growth of 0.6%. The floor of the stock exchange, the all share index, which opened at 41,244.8, improved by 23.12 points or 0.06% to close at 41,268.01. Similarly, the market capitalization rose by 8 billion or 0.05% to close at 14.948 trillion naira compared to 14.940 trillion achieved on Friday. Also, breakdown of the price movement chart showed that Better Glass led the gainers stable. Now, before we bring you all of the top 5 gainers, the losers, and not forgetting the exchange rate of the naira and others on the US and Asian stocks, we'll take just a short break, and when we come back, we'll bring you all of those statistics. Stay exactly where you are. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. And all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
Thinking of live television on go? Think no more. Television Nigerian has got you covered, no matter your age, your education, language, tribe, or religion. Whether it is in your car, your office, or any other place of your choice, you can depend on Television Nigerian anytime, any day, and anywhere. We are online 24/7. You can catch the latest news, politics, sports, and entertainment via your mobile phone, your tablet, or any other device at no extra data charges or costs, just like our Facebook page, Television Nigerian. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Television Nigerian, and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TV Nigerian to enjoy all that television can offer. Television Nigerian, broadcast beyond boundaries.
Okay, now let's take you straight to all the statistics we have for today. As a close of business yesterday on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the top 5 advancers, that's the top 5 gainers, were Better Glass, opened with 75.5 and closed 79.25, and they made a gain of 4.97%. Now, Julius Berger was next on the advancers. Opened the market with 26.9, closed 28.05, and made a gain of 4.28%. That's 1 naira 15 kobo. Dangote Cement was next on the gainers table, opening at 245, closed at 246, making 1 naira gain. That's 0.41 in percentage. CCNN opened 19.5, closed 20.45, and made a gain of 0.95 naira, and that was representing a gain of 4.8%. While Guarantee Trust Bank was the least of the gainers, as it started with 44.35, closed 45, and made a gain of 0.65 naira. That's representing 1 naira 47 kobo. Now let's take you to the top decliners as at close of business yesterday on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now the top decliners, that's the top 5 losers, were Nestle. Nestle opened 1,615 naira, closed 1,599 to lose minus 16. That's representing minus 0.99. Dangote Sugar also lost. It closed at minus 4 naira 22%. Okay. Dangote Flour, well, most of Dangote product yesterday lost. Dangote Sugar lost. Dangote Flour also lost. And the Dangote Flour lost percentage of minus 500. Flour Mill also lost. It opened with 35 naira 2 kobo, closed at 34 naira 5 kobo to lose minus 0.7% and closing a percentage of minus 1.99. While Total was the least of the losers. Total opened 222.6 naira, closed 222.2 and lost minus 0.4. That's a representation of minus 0.18%. And let's look at the top trades as at close of business yesterday. The trades that were the best for that day represented Better Glass, Just Pega, Dangote Cement, CCNN, and of course, not forgetting Guarantee. Now, for the exchange rate of the naira, right now, for the major currencies as they stand today, as you can see it on the screen there, the US dollar is at 360 naira. That's the buying price of the US dollar, closing at 360. That's if you want to buy. The buying dollar is, or the buying price is 360, selling is 362. European, or when you go to Britain, the British pound is at 500 buying, and then selling it's at 505, while the euro 436, and if you're selling it at 442. Now let's look at the Asian market report for today. Now Asian market, looking at the Nikkei 225 index, it opened at 22,508 and closed to gain plus 0.18%. Nikkei 300 index also lost. It closed at minus 0.19%. The Hang Seng index, Hang Seng gained plus 1.74%. The FTSE Straits Times index also gained plus 1.03. The AXS All Ordinaries index also gained 0.47 positive note. The S&P and ASX Mid Cap 50 index also gained on a positive note. That is at plus 0.16. While the S&P ASX 100 index also closed positive on plus 0.56. And now let's see what the US market looks like for today. If I cut it here, the US market right now, if you can see it, the Dow Jones Industrial Average opened 24,168 and closed on a negative note, having minus 0.61. The Nasdaq Composite Index also lost 0.75. S&P 500 Index in the United States, as at close of business this morning, lost minus 0.82%. Global Dow's real-time USD, that's in dollars, it lost minus 0.21%. The Dow Jones Utility Average also lost minus 24. The New York Stock Exchange Composite Index lost minus 62. New York Stock Exchange American Composite Index also was among, in all of those trades, that was the only one that ended on a positive note, winning plus 0.15%. The same thing applies for the Russell 2000 Index, the PHLX Semiconductor Index, the Gold June 2018, the CBOE 30-year Treasury bond, as well as the CBOE 10-year Treasury bond. All of them were all on the losers chart. And that's the outlook of the program for today. But just before we go, let's go back to bring you the headlines that we had earlier on the show. And just to inform you that for the top headlines for today, SEC sets a panel to probe companies' delisting. Oil prices rises above $75 per barrel. Panasonic on the foreign scene hit with $280 million corruption fine. And we also reported that TSB computer fiasco entered the second week today. And that's outlook for television Nigeria business time for today. My name is Nten Ekbang. The pleasure has always been mine being here with you, bringing you all you need to know in the world of business. We're going to do this again tomorrow, hopefully at about this time. On behalf of all members of the production team, once again, happy Workers' Day and enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.